And we're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for the afternoon, Ms. Monica William, the international relations expert. It's a very good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for joining us. And let me start by asking you about the recent announcement, of course, where famine has been officially declared by the United Nations. And the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has described the situation as a man-made disaster, which is a moral indictment and a failure of humanity itself. How do you see this recent development with regards to the situation in Gaza, Ms. Monica?
First, thank you for having me. Within this way, there is several key constraints limit Israel IC current operation and place a ceiling on its stated objective. The first one, the absence of internal consent. This war is the first in Israel history to break board national agreement exposing a rift between society, army and government. The second constraint in my point of view, I see is that strategic dilemma of contradictional goals. Whether the first one is defeating Hamas on the one hand while safeguarding the hostage on the other. So this contradiction prevents the formation of a current strategy or solid strategy for the Israel goals. The other or the third one is the operational and logistical burden. A full-scale invasion of Gaza would require a year of sustained combat, a scenario that army can sustain amid growing internal threats, and the humanitarian and diplomatic repercussions. The use of starvation as a tool of pressure fuels Israel's international isolation that erodes the legitimacy of its operation. So the shifting U.S. position can decline American support, but particularly Trump inconsequent stance would leave Netanyahu increasingly exposed to international pressure. So taken together, this constraint makes the future tragedy of the operation highly uncertain, while underscoring the deeper strategic can impact that can't be resolved through military means alone.
Right. Now, Ms. Monica, we've seen the Foreign Minister, Dr. Badr Abdel-Ati, calling on the international community to pressure Israel to accept the most recent Gaza ceasefire proposal, of course denouncing Tel Aviv's continued systematic violations of international law. How do you see the role of the international community in this regard?
First of all, as you mentioned now, Mr. Badr Abdel-Ati is recently, I see, make a difference and radical change in the Egyptian approach. He is shaping the narrative beyond diplomacy and aid. Egypt has prioritized building a counter-narrative against misleading claims about its role in Gaza and about what's happening in Gaza. This involves proactive engagement with international media outlets and new agencies in English to clarify Egypt's position, to highlight what's happened, to highlight its efforts and expose attempts to trap the blame. So a recent example in this regard, the Foreign Minister interview with a major English language news agency, I guess last Friday, which emphasized Egypt's commitment to humanitarian relief and its rejection of forced displacement scenarios. So international community, I see, make a radical change from since last month. The role of France and Holland and the claim of Germany to prevent its exports to army exports to Israel.
Right, and let me ask you, Ms. Monica, a very important situation with regards to the role of the Egyptian government and the Red Crescent as well in the aid convoys that are being sent. We are seeing the 23rd aid convoy that has been sent today to the Palestinians. Of course, it passes from the Egyptian side into the Palestinian side, which is manned by the Israeli occupation and checked as well by the occupation forces. The trucks are checked very thoroughly to see what is on them. How important do you see this kind of assistance, especially now we're talking about over 1,341 trucks have entered Gaza from the 27th till the 14th of August, while still 5,000 remain stranded on the Egyptian side as a result of the Israeli occupation impediment.
Yes, Egypt has long positioned itself as a central mediator in the Palestinian issue, and its role in addressing the current Gaza crisis can be understood through several key pillars. I get mistaken. Egypt remains at the heart of ceasefire negotiations between Israel, Palestinian factions, and international stakeholders. Last Monday, Egypt is the main factor, and as you said, it serves as the primary gateway for aid delivery to Gaza. Egypt's management of this route reflects its dual and mutual responsibility, providing humanitarian relief while maintaining security and sovereignty at the same time. And it faces regional and international coordination. It's actively coordinates with Arab states, United Nations, and major powers to align efforts towards stabilizing Gaza. This multilateral approach reinforces Cairo, Egypt's state credibility as a reliable regional partner.
Absolutely right. I'd like to thank you very, very much, our dear guest for the afternoon, Ms. Monica William, our international relations expert. Thank you very much for your time and your insight. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break and we'll be back. Do stay tuned.